started to begin in our apartment that we first moved into. My son had just been born, and we rented an apartment downtown. And the first thing that we noticed, my husband and I were sitting in the living room, and this holder that we have in our bathroom to hold the toilet roll, the toilet roll brush, it's shaped like a cat. And it had flown across the room one night, hit the other wall. I picked it up and put it back where it had been, and I sat down again to watch TV with my husband. And again we heard this awful crash, and the thing flew out of the bathroom and landed in the hallway against the hallway door. And my husband got up, and he was quite angry. He thought that they were partying it up upstairs or in the apartment next to us. And he went out in the hall to complain, and there was nothing there. It was dead silent. In fact, we believe the neighbors weren't even home that day.
What other kinds of things have happened?
Well, the door started to open and close for no apparent reason. There was no drafts or anything like this. On several occasions, we heard what sounded like whispering in our living room after we'd gone to bed. We would get up, there was nothing there. The dog would get upset and start barking at nothing. He'd run in the bedroom and start growling by the baby's bed, and you know, he wouldn't leave the baby. He'd lay right in front of the baby's crib. We moved out of the apartment about 1.5 years, 2 years later into a house. And the house was fairly new, it would be about 2 or 3 years old. After we moved into the house, we started hearing what seemed like footsteps walking down the hall. My husband thought the house was settling, and it was just, you know, the beams or something making this noise. We again started hearing these noises, like somebody whispering. You turn around, there's nothing there. I would be in the kitchen. Something seemed like it would come up behind me and touch me. You know, it'd make you frightened enough that you'd almost drop a dish or something, you know. Then things would fall. Nobody was around them. They'd just topple over. You'd go and put them back, they'd fall again.
Have you ever seen anything?
Yes, but I can't explain really what it was. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I don't know what woke me up, but I sit bolt upright in bed, and I saw a shape, as if it was a man standing at the foot of the bed. And by this time we had taken in a few boarders. I thought that I had been dreaming, and my husband thought so too. But this occurred 2 or 3 times in the home. Right after one of our boarders had died, this occurred, and it almost looked like this boarder that had died, this elderly gentleman. One of our boarders claimed, that the man that died claimed that when he was in his room, he saw a man just all of a sudden appear out of nowhere, sitting in his chair across from his bed, staring at him. A young fella whom he described almost as if it was my husband's dead brother. Then he said the thing vanished as fast as it had appeared, and he felt something was going to happen to him. 2 weeks later, he became violently ill, and he'd been very active. We rushed him by ambulance to the hospital, and that's where he died, in the hospital. After all these things had happened, we moved to a different home, which we bought. Things started happening in that house too that we can't explain.
What kinds of things?
Well, we were in this house about 2 or 3 weeks, and I woke up one morning to find blood from our front door all the way down the hall to the bedroom door. The kids couldn't explain it, and the dog didn't have a cut foot. There's nothing that we could apparently chalk it up to. So anyway, we forgot about it, and I went out to get some cleaning fluids, and when I came back, the blood had disappeared off the carpet. There's never been a sign of it since. I've never seen it since then. Now again, we've started to hear noises. The doors in this house will open and close. There doesn't seem to be any reason for it.
How do you explain this?
I can't. I really don't understand it. It's just... to me, as if there is a presence in the house. I can feel it, but yet I can't see it. I don't know what it is. I was sitting in my living room chair one night watching TV. I felt something cold, like a draft, as if it hit me in the face. I looked around. There was nothing there. I was about to get up and check the door to see if it had come open when something walked by me, sat down in my leather chair. I saw the seat go down as if someone was sitting in it, and I just froze. I couldn't do anything. Then it seemed like a peace came over me. I wasn't nervous anymore. Whatever this was got up and walked past me again. I felt a cold draft, and then nothing. The following morning, my daughter found out that the woman that had lived with us had just died that night at the same time this happened to me. Then my husband and I both started, wondering what had happened in our home. And the only thing I thought was sort of a comforting thought, that maybe in her own way we really liked this woman, that she had come back to say goodbye to me. In her own way, maybe this is what had happened, because there's no other explanation.